you dare get sarcastic?
It's hurting, Vishwa.
ఇప్పుడు వాడి మీద కూడా పడిందా నీ కన్ను?
కామం క్రోధం మోహం మోహం.
Yeah. So how does it feel?
Yeah, ma'am, it feels great because the kind of freedom that we have. See, I've done a film like Our Day, and I'm an actor who always wanted to do things that are different. I wanted to always explore the dark side of our society, and as humans we are. So the kind of response I got in Our Day theatrically was horrible, but when it released on an OTT platform, it was a blockbuster. So I feel it's also about being wise because certain content, it is directed towards certain audience. So being when I was choosing this story, the fact that this was for Netflix and it's the Telugu, the first Telugu original, it gave me a lot of confidence, and I could do it with so much of conviction and freedom, rather than
Yeah,
thinking
exactly.
rather than thinking what could go wrong, how I would be judged, or is it, what are the risk factors. So I could eliminate all that thoughts, and I could just be.
Yes. And that kind of a freedom makes so much of difference, while performing too. And it's going to be like whoever wants to see this genre is going to see it.
Yes,
And that's so much more easier.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Nandini, you?
For me, there were two things. One, it was Netflix. Two, it was a short story format. Netflix is one of the biggest platforms, and knowing that we have a certain kind of audience in mind, it gave me a lot of freedom. I mean, for example, if you look at the way the conversations are in the film.
I wanted to ask you about this also, actually. Once you're done with it, I'm going to talk about the 30 minutes with you before I go to Chow.
Okay, and the third thing was also that I'm leaving all my comfort zone, which is humor and family emotions and all the typical things that I have always done, which comes naturally to me. I am leaving all those crutches aside and free falling into a completely dark space. There's a discomfort in the relationship of the husband and wife from the start of the first frame, and it keeps moving into a darker and darker space. What appears to be one thing is actually not something. There are these layers. So all this was pretty much exciting for me to play with.
Okay. And Chow, you?
I see 10 days work and so much matter, especially like with freedom, was an awesome experience. And Nandini has packaged it so well. So everything was there, every emotion was there in the whole sequence. And I would say I enjoyed it thoroughly. And most of the time I was trying to impress Amla, so I was working hard for it.
In fact, we did that car scene, right, where I tell him, where we have that argument. So I came out of the scene and I told Nandini, I'm like, Nan, he's so good. I think people are going to sympathize with him. They're like, what she's doing to this man.
Ramya, okay. Ramya, tell me one thing differently that you would have done as an actor if you were playing Meera. Let me ask you that.
If
you
just
were
that
playing
my
Meera,
face would be different from the present Meera.
but otherwise you would have pretty much, you felt Amla was on point.
Amla is a very fine actor. It's what she does is it looks very easy and effortless, but it's very difficult to carry off scenes with such ease and effortlessness. It is beautiful. She's a fine actor.
Thank you. You made my day.
Like you said, the marital rape, it's like the intensity and the emotions she was in the foreground. That was really good.
Yeah.
Really good, and many and small expressions of hers, which is so beautiful. Only a superb actor can deliver such things.
Very true.
Don't you think so, Chow?
Yep.
But in cinema, we have to freaking justify everything. I think that's a sad part, If she had just shown it straight away, Meera kicking Vishwa out of the house, or Meera is like,
Where is the drama then?
Yeah, yeah. But you have to freaking justify the women.
But I remember,
So,
when Chow was playing the role, he was asking me about Vishwa, and he said, "Is this guy a really bad guy? What is he? Tell me about him." And then that's when I said, nobody is bad. I mean, especially nobody thinks they are being bad, right? Nobody says, "Ha ha
yeah.
ha, I'm going to be a nasty person."
Yeah,
No.
and there is never always a black and white to all characters, so called,
Correct. Correct.
characters generally written.
Chow held on to that core of it, and he was sincere to that emotion of Vishwa, that he really adores his kids, and they are his Achilles
The
heel in that sense.
place where the scene where he's been interrogated,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you feel really sorry for him when he is going. Amla is, helping him sleep.
yeah, yeah,
So that's another place where you feel quite sorry for him.
yeah.
Yeah.
This one
Yeah.
That's he
really
shows the
vulnerable side.
vulnerable
Yeah, yeah,
side of
yeah, yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. He seems to be helpless. Like, he's in
yeah,
such a situation where even he can't help himself.
yeah,
And I think Chow kind of tread that nuance very well, because it's difficult to play vulnerable and very intimidating on the other side. He's
yeah.
almost kind of switching into this bipolar behavior constantly, and I think he did it, but he held on to that belief that Vishwa is a guy who's mad about his wife and his kids. It's just that that madness crosses certain limits and he's not able to control it. But he held on to that core goodness of that. In that whatever shred of goodness is there, he held on to it and he didn't let it go. So I think as an actor, that's what kind of kept the audience also sympathizing with him. And Ramya and me were talking earlier about this, and she, there was this little. She said, like Netflix, everything is very real and absolutely very realistic, and then there is this little cinematic touches that I tend to give to stories. So I as a director, I like that sense of cinema.
Thoroughly. And I agree with what you told earlier also, the younger generations. See, OTT again has limited time, you're under pressure, so many things are happening, but at the same time, they're doing a great job.
Yes, yeah.
OTT gives me wings to fly. So ideally, I would like to straddle both worlds. I would like to do feature films and then in between again come and do this, because I get a chance to reinvent myself. So in that sense, OTT, it's a sure shot release that you get. This whole pressure of release and all that is not there. So you are given a different set of wings to fly. So I think you get the best of both worlds when you do this little bit of that.
Yes,
So
exactly. I
that's
totally agree.
yeah. So that's what I plan to
So
do.
true.
Thank you,
Rohit,
man. Thank you so much. So sweet of you.